Hi there, this is Ola. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Kaizen daily journal in Notion. It's probably the only journal you'll need in Notion. It's a simple system for journaling, building habits, tracking mood, lessons, mistakes, moments, and more. For this video, we'll walk through who this is for, what Kaizen journal is, why you need it, what makes this different from other journals. We'll also walk through the entire system so that you can see how I use it, and hopefully this sparks some ideas for your own system as well. If you'd like to recreate the system to save you time, I've also included the link in the description for the paid and free version of these templates. So let's get started. Who's this for? If you're interested in self-development and need a complete daily journal that captures the most important and actionable part of your day, well, this is a journal for you. What is Kaizen? Kaizen is a Japanese word that literally means change for the better. Kaizen philosophy is a philosophy popularized by Toyota that is essentially about shifting one's focus to long-term improvement rather than getting caught up in the momentary success or setbacks. It is based on the belief that continuous incremental improvement adds up to substantial change over time. Why do you need this? This helps you become more aware. Often we go through life with blinkers on. A daily journal helps you gain deeper awareness about the world around you, the people in your life, your lessons, your mistakes, and even about yourself. Journaling helps you remove the subconscious cognitive load of trying not to forget things that happens across the day. Get every thought about your day out and make sense of them later. It can be quite challenging to sleep and make decisions when your brain is overfilled with unprocessed thoughts across your day. Writing in your journal at the end of the day helps signify an end to the day, which helps you get better sleep. By keeping track of your day and making continuous small incremental improvements, you inevitably move closer to your goals. By using the power of streaks, you are able to visually see your progress each day, so breaking the chain of good habits becomes harder. So what makes this different from other journals? Most journals are about just one thing, so either they're helping you track your habits or helping you track your thoughts, your mood. This is about the full picture of your day because your day is not fragmented into these silos. So a daily journal should be easy to capture and be actionable over time, and that's exactly what this is about. This is not just a habit tracker, this is not just a journal, not a gratitude tracker, a way for tracking your mood, behavior, or other things. This is all of the above. Even though this is comprehensive, it's also designed to be very simple and not require more than 5 minutes of each of your day. No complicated formulas that give you extra work or data that you track but you never need to use. This is pragmatic, actionable, and Kaizen. Right, so let's dive in. So there are a bunch of different filtered views, and we'll walk through each one of them starting from all entries, because this is the main view for this Kaizen journal. So you can see the day that you are tracking, as well as the main highlights that happened that day. So your the most memorable thing basically that you want to remember that day, and I will show you why that becomes important later on. And you want to rate your day, so starting from bad, alright, good, and great. And highlights lets you impute some of the most important aspects of the day, so they are like the mini highlights. So I like to put like the top 5 things that I want to remember about that particular day. The one went well is where you want to put the most memorable good thing that happened to you that day. What didn't go well is the most memorable bad thing that happened, so where you might have not done your best and you want to improve on. One new thing is something, new habit you picked up, new routine, new diet, new friend you met, something that could potentially be a turning point in your life. What did you stop doing? It's the opposite of the what's the new thing you started doing. So this is new bad habits you might have picked up. Maybe you started sleeping in more, maybe you started drinking coffee when you never used to. Basically anything that might be considered negative. Of course, this is very subjective, so whatever you think is negative, then that's what you put. Next step is what you want to do next. So if you started a new workout routine, for example, and the next step is to buy a yoga mat, well, that's what you put there. Your mistakes are mistakes that you made across your day. So these are not necessarily the bad things that happened to you. These are the things that you could have done better for yourself. Life lessons helps you track the lessons that you've learned that can be applied generally across your life. So these actually links to a database that tracks different lessons. We will cover that database as well because it's one of my favorite setups in Notion. And you also have the professional ones, which lets you track your professional lessons. And I will show you the difference between these as well. The life lessons basically has different categories for different contexts in your life, whereas the professional lessons has categories that are based on the professional context for you. I've included the professional contexts that are useful to me, but you are free to change that to whatever works for you. And of course, these are some habits that you might want to track. For me, these are the ones that I'm working on right now. If you want to add more, you can add more as well. And then gratitude are things that you are grateful for that day that you want to remember. And notable achievements are the achievements like the memorable things. So let's say you signed your first contract, you launched a new product, anything that is of interest to you that way. The year is a formula that pulls in from the day. So it's basically just a way for you to know what year that you're in. This becomes useful once this journal becomes something that you're using over years, so you can actually be able to keep track of the best moments for each year, and I'll show you what I mean by that later on. So that's the full section with all the entries. So now let me show you the filtered views, because these are actually the best part of this workflow. So today's log is where you log your day. So this is actually filtered to just show the current day. So it's just easier, it's not this overwhelming list. And on the mobile, this becomes very useful as well to have this way. Then you have the essentials. So if you're new to this is actually what I recommend that you use. So this puts the most important things that you might want to track as a beginner. So this doesn't have that long list that I showed you within the all entry section. The progress timeline is a way for you to be able to visually see your life over time. I'm not sure why it started in whatever month that was, but you can see from November here. So you're able to literally see a timeline of your life over time. The daily summary allows you to see in a calendar how your day went over time. I personally don't use this view very much, but if you prefer to look things in a calendar, you can do this as well. And I chose some of my favorite data that I want to track across my day, but you're free to also change that in the properties to some of the ones that matters to you instead. You have the mood sort, which sorts the view by your moods. So the best days, good days, alright, and bad. So you're able to see a trend of what's happening over time with your days and what triggers those days as well. And habits tracker helps you visually see some of your habits, so that you can try to make sure that you are not breaking the chain of check marks. And this is one of the most powerful parts of this journal, since this is actually just a heads up, this is not my personal dashboard. This is one that I created just for this video. My personal one is a lot more messy than this, and this is probably one of the best things that I've done personally for myself this year. Lessons tracker. So the lessons allows you to track some of the things you've learned. Well, not track. This allows you to be able to visually see some of the most important things that you've learned. And we will go in more details into this lesson section, but I just wanted to show you this quickly. And gratitude helps you track what you're thankful for, so it's easy to see when you're having shitty days or things are just not going quite as well. This allows you to be able to look back and see some of the things that has been good in your life, so you can put things in perspective. So best days allows you to keep track of some of your best days. This is sorted by the greatest day first, followed by the good ones. And this is actually filtered by the great and the good days as well. So you never see anything else within this view. And the properties that I decided to use in this are the ones that are relevant to those types of days. So you obviously want to see what went well, what new thing that might have contributed to the feeling that it's a great day, what bad thing that you might have stopped doing that also contributed to that feeling, and some of the highlights. And that's it, nothing else is included in this view. And then the best days this year is the exact same thing, except you're looking at the entire year. And this is where the year formula that I mentioned earlier on becomes important. So the year for this is 2020, and this is filtered by all the great and good days for this year. If I change this to 2021, you'll see that nothing shows up there anymore. So that's what that is for. And to improve shows you some of the things you might need to work on. So you can see what didn't go well, what the mistakes might have been that you made this year, what the next steps for you should be based on your analysis of your own self for those days. The notable achievements shows you some of the highlights of your year. So some things that you've accomplished that year. So this is one of my favorite views. It was actually the very last thing that I added. But yeah, so as you can see, I filtered this by a bunch of different ones. I'm curious to see the other different types of views that you would like to see created, or what you build from this template. So now let's go to the other part of these, which are the library, or the libraries, the achievement and the mistakes. So if I go to the professional library, you can see all of the professional lessons that are being tracked. So this is the list view, but the context is what I like to use the most. So you can see the business growth, business models, success, and so on. Those are some of the areas that I am personally interested in, and those are the categories that I've created. If you want to add any context to this, you can easily just click add group and add the context. I've also, in the template, all of this that you see here would be there. So as a little bonus, you have some of the things that I've been learning in your template as well. And you can delete them if you don't want. Just click Command A and then delete. All of this will be deleted. And the 1 day recall is one of my favorite features. So I've set up a filter that only shows what I learned yesterday. So every day at the end of the day, I come back to this and look at what I might have learned from the previous day that I need to remember. The 1 week recall is the exact same thing, and the 1 month recall, exact same thing, except it's filtered by the past week, and the 1 month is what I've learned in the past month. So this video is recorded in December, while some of these examples you see there was November, so that's why the 1 day to 1 week thing didn't work. But as you can see in the last month, these are some of the things I've learned, so I can quickly then come back to refresh my memory. And the life library is slightly different. So this is looking at context from life, conquering fear, confidence, creativity, and things like that. So that's why this is a bit different from the professional one, because I wanted to still keep this context without necessarily messing up the setup that I have for professional ones. So if we go back, the achievements as well shows you some of your achievements. This is a very simple database. I just kept it very simple. Later on, this might evolve. I will make sure to make a video if I ever do something like that. And mistakes are some of the mistakes that you made as well. This is another very simple one. If it's a mistake that you've processed, you can just click the checklist and you've learned from that mistake. And that doesn't mean you won't make mistakes again, but at least you know you've done something towards it. And yeah, that's the Kaizen Daily Journal. It's a very deceptively simple looking setup, but it can get quite complicated. Yeah, let me know your thoughts and in the comments. I'm curious to know what you think. And also please like, subscribe, share, and get the templates. If it's of interest to you, you can get the free one, you can get a paid one, whatever one you prefer. All right, talk to you soon.